Yo, what is up, guys? It's your boy HMSA 2012 here, back at it again, but this time with the Draft League match, as I am the Inglewood Incineroars, and my opponent today is the Cianwood City Quagsires. So I am partaking in a Draft League brought to you guys by the Pokemon Battle and Trade community. It's a Facebook group page I've been for a while, for about 2 years. This is my first time participating in a draft league ever, or second time actually, but not with this group. And so currently, right now, we're in week 15 or 16, I believe, and I am 8-6, while my opponent is 6-8. I have to win the next two matches in order for me to possibly even think about playoffs. And even if I want to go into the playoffs, uh, I'm actually going to be in a lot of hot water if my differential starts decreasing. So, looking at the team, Mega Metachamp actually puts in a lot of work against the team, outside of Swellow, of course, as it obviously outspeeds me, and Drifblim, if it is unburdened with more than likely what I think is going to be either the Citrus Berry variant or the Grassy Terrain. And Grassy Terrain makes more sense because he has the Bulu with him. So, leading off the team would be my Mega Metachamp, aka my boy Kyrie Irving, aka Mr. Crossover. The Fake Out does 28 with the crit, which leads me to believe that this Bulu is more than likely defensive, because that didn't do much even with the crit. So then I swap out into my Emboar, predicting the Horn Leech, which I actually do with ease, my boy Dwight Howard. And so right now, I'm in somewhat, my momentum is in my favor, so I'm just going to fire off a Flare Blitz. That does 33, which seems to make me to believe that this stack attacker is not offensive, the lonely offensive variant, but rather a defensive natured stack attacker, as that didn't do as much as I thought it would. So my boy Emboar putting the pressure on the team. He goes into Boo. Nice play, predicting the superpower. That does 25, which still it doesn't do as much as I expected to be. So then I go into my boy Ben Simmons, my Pelipper, and he goes for the Reflect, and I'm like, oh boy, this better not be Light Clay, because Reflect actually makes sense, because as you can see with the rest of my team, 5 out of the rest of the team is actually physical attackers. So this Reflect and Boo is going to be somewhat problematic, and I need to find a way to get in my Quillfish to essentially start going off against the rest of his team. He goes for the Stone Edge, so I just scout that just to make sure that my Pelipper can come in safely, which it can't because of the Stone Edge. I go direct into my Metacham, and here's where I start making misplays. I'm actually, what I'm doing here is essentially just scouting the damage while this Boo is becoming a problem against my team, and I do not want my Metacham going away because it's going to be very important. Next, I go into my boy Stephen Curry. As you can see, that Horn Leash does 28%. Doesn't do much because my Mach is an Assault. It's an Assault Vest variant, but it has some defensive and HP EVs in order to take physical attacks, not from actually Tapu Bulu, but from rather Stack Attacker, because if Stack Attacker sets up a Trick Room, it can possibly pose a lot of problems against my team, especially when this is the only Mon that is slower than the rest of his team outside of Stack Attacker, which still creates a problem. The Reflect wears off, which is fine with me. I could go into Nidoqueen, nice play, but I go for the knockoff, just to scout what item it has. So it turned out to be Shuka. Assault Vest means that I can take an Earth Power and I knock at it again, just in case he wants to switch. I go into my boy Emboar, predicting him going for the Spikes or the Stealth Rocks, and I kill this thing with a Flare Blitz crit. Doesn't really matter. My boy Emboar can just pick things off. Now here is where it's going to be a very decisive turn. And as you can see, eventually, that this turn really mattered for my opponent the most. I'm thinking that he most likely will start Shell Smashing if he has a choice. I'm sorry, the Focus Sash. Or he will straight up attack me. Now this Emboar really is dispensable at this point. But I didn't want him to set up a Shell Smash for free. So what he goes for here, he goes for the Rock Blast, and as you can see, it misses, allowing my Dwight Howard to superpower this into oblivion, knock this thing out of the park, and then he goes into his Bulu thinking that I might be slower, but I'm not, because I am Flare Blitzing you out of here, boy. So now we get rid of the Bulu, which means that now he goes into his Drifblim. Dwight Howard is dispensable now, so I just go with a Sucker Punch. Does 31, even with the Grassy Seed, that still does quite a bit. Knocks it out. Then I go into my boy Muck, which is my defensive answer to this Driftblim as I go for the knockoff and does 51. My goodness. Now, I thought that he would have Air Cutter. I did not think he would have Air Cutter, but rather Acrobatics. That's a lot more stronger than an Air Cutter, even though it's stab boosted. So I was thinking that he might actually have Acrobatics, and if it had Acrobatics, it might pose as a problem against the rest of my team because I believe with Unburdened max speed, Driftblims can outspeed my Quillfishes in rain. So what I go for here, predicting that he does not hopefully have Acrobatics, he goes for Destiny Bond. So my my boy Muck doing his job knocks this thing out of the park, and now it comes down to my Mega Metachamp putting in the work against Swellow. He doesn't want to take damage, he switches out to stack attack him. I fake out. He's obviously Rocky Helmet, so then I'm thinking, well, I'm pretty sure a Drain Punch rather than a high jump kick will actually kill this thing, and I get all my HP back. Like what Mega Metachamp does best, my boy Mr. Crossovers. I switch out because I don't want Mega Metachamp taking damage. I go into my Pelipper to see what kind of swell this is, and this is a Brave Bird, Guts variant. So at this point, this game is over because Swellow does not outspeed my Quillfish in Rain. And then last but not least, I blow this thing out of the park with my boy James Harden with the Poisonium Seed, knock this thing out, and that's the end of the game. So, very good game from the both of us. Unfortunately, the Rock Blast miss from the Cloister costed him a lot of momentum and pretty much the match because Emboar did a lot more damage than it was supposed to. But I was expecting him to Shell Smash, so that was my thought process of just staying in, just killing it before it does anything else. And this makes me now after this match, this puts me at 9-6 with a possible uh, matchup in the last week to determine whether I go to playoffs or not. And a +3 differential puts me into the wild card race for the playoffs. So hope you guys enjoyed that. Sorry if the quality seems a bit low right now. I'm currently at home and there's a lot of noises going on outside right now. So if you guys like this, please hit that like button and subscribe for more Draft League matches. If I do end up going to playoffs, I will be recording more of those matches and obviously the final match of the week. If not, I will still be recording other people's matches just to give you guys some quality content in regards to our Draft League. So thank you guys for watching and hope to enjoy your day and goodbye.